Please be reminded that the Prince George's County Public School Administrative Procedures regarding appropriate use of technology, social media, and email continue to apply in the online instructions. In addition, this session may not be recorded without the instructor's consent. A description of the applicable procedures is provided online in the Students' Rights and Responsibility Handbook. Thank you for your cooperation. This just in, breaking news about the Corona cat. Coronavirus can infect the cats. Dogs, not so much. Cats can be infected with the coronavirus that causes the COVID-19 and can spread it to other cats. But the dogs are not really susceptible to this infection, says the researchers in China. Other scientists say that the findings are interesting, but cat owners should not be alarmed yet. The results are based on laboratory experiments where the small animals were deliberately injected with high doses of the virus, the SARS-CoV-2, and do not represent real-life interactions between people and their pets. The virologist Linda Schaaf says that there is no direct evidence that the infected cats secreted enough coronavirus in order to pass it on to people. With the coronavirus spreading rapidly around our world, some have raised concerns about whether the pets can pass this on to the people. Cats and dogs are in close contact with the humans, and therefore it is important that we understand their susceptibility to SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19. The team led by virologist Bo Zagago introduced samples of the SARS-CoV-2 into the noses of 5 domestic cats. When 2 of the animals were euthanized 6 days later, the researchers found a viral RNA as well as infectious viral particles inside of the respiratory tract of those animals. The other 3 infected cats were put in cages. They were put next to uninfected felines. The team later detected viral RNA in one of these exposed cats, which suggested that it contracted the virus from droplets that were breathed out from the infected cat. All 4 of the infected cats also produced the antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2. Surveillance from SARS-CoV-2 in the cat should be considered as part of the effort to eliminate the COVID-19 in humans. But the virologist says that none of the infected cats showed symptoms of the illness, and that only 1 out of the 3 felines exposed to the infected animal caught the virus. This suggests that the virus may not be highly transmittable in cats. Furthermore, the mode of transmission is unclear to us because the study does not describe how the cages were set up and if the uninfected cats could have contracted this virus from the feces or the urine of a nearby cat. More tests are needed, including some in which the cats are given different dosages of this virus in order to see if they can pass this on to other cats. More tests are going to be needed. The results suggest that cats should be considered in the effort to control COVID-19, but that they are not a major factor in the spread of this disease. Stated by Dr. Pfeiffer, the epidemiologist in the University of Hong Kong. The focus in the control of COVID-19, therefore, undoubtedly needs to remain firmly to reduce the risk of human to human transmission. Cats can be infected and pass it on to other cats. But there was no indication that the widespread virus transmitted from cats to humans. The U.S. Center for Disease and Control and Prevention recommends that people with COVID-19 limit their contact with their pets by stroking them, petting them, or allowing the pet to lick them. These are precautionaries as would be advised for any new emerging disease where only limited information is available. Coronavirus can affect cats, but dogs not so much. But scientists say it is unclear as to whether the felines can spread this virus to people. So pet owners, relax. You need not panic yet. At this time, we're going to have a special guest that's going to join us here at the newsroom, and we're going to interview her about the Corona cat. Madison, what is your viewpoint on cats that get the coronavirus? Have you yourself been tested? Do you know of any other cat that has come down with this coronavirus? All right, students, we want to thank Madison for joining us today at the news station. And at this time, I'm going to invite you to share in your Google Docs what your thoughts are on this virus that is attacking the cats. You will respond to this article and the other one that is in the lesson. So at this time, you may go ahead and communicate what you think. All right, everyone. Now it's time for us to get on with our art project that's related to current events. That's going to be working with the fur production of a cat. So what you're going to do is look at the lesson that I provided for you, and you're going to choose one of the 4 cats to draw. I guess in a way you can say, well, which one of these cats are the Corona cat? So you'll have a picture of one of the cats for your materials needed. You will also need to have a few different values of pencils so that you can differentiate between the dark hairs and the light hairs. An eraser, pencil sharpener. A blending tool wouldn't be bad, but if you don't have a blending tool, Q-tips will work just fine as well. You will need a few color pencils because the cats have eye color, but if you don't have it, you can still do that in black and white, and your paper. Okay? Those are the materials that you need. So now we're going to take a look at the table. And I want you to give yourself 2 ovals. Two ovals. And I want you to label one of them do not. And then I want you to label the other one the correct way. All right? All right. When I say the do not, I want you to practice with me, and I want you to just kind of scratch in, zigzag, you know, just coloring it in. Sometimes that's how we color. We go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When you are laying in the pet fur, do not lay it in going back and forth. First of all, you need to have 2 very sharp pencils, and maybe even 3 very sharp pencils, but actually whatever pencils you have, make sure that they're very sharp. All right? And then you're going to start laying in a pattern of like an M pattern. And keep in mind that your strokes are going to be one direction. So you stroke it, lift, and then go back. You stroke it, lift, and then go back. Stroke it, stroke it, stroke it, stroke it. You go in one direction. You do not zigzag it. But while you are laying the fur in, the direction of the line should be a zigzag or more like a M. And then you continue on like that, laying in every stroke of the fur, one direction, one direction, one direction, until you have it all full. And then you can change your pencil colors to get in some darker hair. And keeping in mind that while you are laying in this fur, with one stroke at a time, in the lesson plan, you will see examples of this as well. If your lead starts to get dull, go right ahead and sharpen it again. And continue to lay in the fur. All right, that's practice. Now, the do not and the correct way. Okay. When you are working with your cat, cat fur grows in different directions. So what you want to avoid is drawing in hard lines. You don't need any hard lines. All lines are going to be the fur. So you're going to start stroking in the fur in the shape of the head of the cat. So you know the top of the cat's head is rounded. You know that the cat has little ears. So you're going to stroke in some hairs around for the little ears. But never just draw. Now the other little trick is that the forehead of a cat has a pattern to it. Remember the zigzag pattern. So you can go ahead and start mapping in the zigzag pattern that you want. And you will fill all of that in later with more individual pieces of hair. You can also kind of map in the eyes of the little cat. And all of these have different directions. So if you keep in mind that all the fur in the cat's head goes upward this way, and then the fur around the cheek area goes outward that way. And then the little hairs in the ear, they kind of go upward as well. And they go beyond also. So like I put these hairs here, kind of capturing the contour shape of the cat, but the cat's fur goes beyond that as well. So we want to go ahead and give her some little eyeballs. And some. The cat's nose is kind of tricky. Where's my little cat picture? Okay. And then all these little hairs here on the nostril is kind of tricky. They're very short hairs around through here. All right, so as I continue with this little cat, I'm going to drop in another row of fur. Now this little cat has a lot of dark hair. A lot of dark hair. A lot more dark hair than she has light hair. But every stroke is a piece of fur. And you just go in the direction of the cat's mane. And then at some point in time, you may want to get your little blending tool out if it needs a little softening, and you go in there with your blending tool. All right, and right now I think I want to tackle the eyes. Get that out of the way. Cats have a lot of beautiful color in their eyes. And then even outside their eyes, it's pretty dark. I think sometimes that's where ladies get the idea of how to do their mascara. And let's put a little white on it. Make it feel a little glassy. Alright, now the little kitty's eyes are kind of done. Nostrils are done. So I just have to spend a lot of time now just dropping in a lot of fur. Dropping it in the right direction. With the right color. And believe it or not, cats have eyelashes. And that's something that you might want to do with a dark pencil. Cats have whiskers. Cats even have little lips. And then on the side of their lips are these little whiskers. And then they have little furry chins. Might want to map that area out as well. Nice little rounded chin. All right, so everything is a very slow build-up. You want to just dive in over and over again. You want to mix in your dark grays with your light grays. You want to sweep down, no back and forth, no back and forth. You want to look into the clumps of the fur, and you want to build on there, and you want to use your cotton swab or your blending tool to soften it. Even in many cases, you might want to have some highlights, and so you can do that with an eraser that works. You can just go through the fur with, it works better with a skinny eraser, which I don't seem to. Here's one. Sometimes you might want to get some highlights. So you've done everything and you want to get some highlights. So you just do an erased line through it to get a lighter value. And that's how you get your highlights throughout the piece. Every hair is made by a sharp pencil. These are just little tips that I'm giving you at this time. And just make sure you never draw the contour line. All of your lines should be very tapered. And then in the end, you should have something that kind of looks like a little furry beastie. In the end, you should have something that looks kind of furry. All right. Well, that's all for my demonstration. Now, if my lesson wasn't quite good enough for you, you can always go on YouTube and find the similar works of how to add fur to your little beastie, to your little cat. Now, the 4 things that I'm looking for this week, I want you to make a comment about your opinion on the 2 articles, the one that you read in the lesson and the one that you listened to. I also want you to submit your furry cat covered in fur. The 3rd thing that I want you to submit is the practice ovals. I want you to submit the practice ovals, the way to do it and the way not to do it. And then the last thing I want you to submit is your paragraph about the process that you went through for your for this project. And again, this is a current event about the Corona cat. Thank you and good luck.